So today I'm doing the first thing that I thought I would ever not do, which is saying a lot for my past life. I am mommy vlogging. Now, I always thought of mommy vlogging as mommy flogging, 50 lashes for having a child and spreading your legs 3 years ago. Ha! You will have it now. No, really. And I realized that I need it in my life. I've reached the point where I cannot procrastinate on other things much longer. Working as a full-time mommy, trying to keep people alive, brains are about to pop out of their heads, different things like that, along with having the toddler. I have realized that I have to get my time management so close to the line that I now have to procrastinate about thinking about getting my time so close to the line. So again, here, full-time mommy, full-time housewife attempting to vlog while my toddler sleeps for 90 minutes. Can we talk about those 90 minutes as a mommy? The time she goes down to the time that she's up. It's amazing the level of busyness that you can achieve watching Netflix. While watching Netflix, that is. So in my 90 minutes, I have to do the dishes, do the laundry, do the distribution of the laundry, attempt to pick up a few of the toddler chaos that has gone on in my living room. Oh yes, and do my husband, all in 90 minutes. Sex life is great after kids. Don't let them tell you anything otherwise. So yeah, that's my 90 minutes. Oh yes, and because I'm in a new job, I have to learn in those 90 minutes too. I've tried to argue with my husband that we can do doggy style and I can read a textbook at the same time. However, that was negated. Not as violently as I thought it would be if I offered to throw porn on the screen too, as we went at it. But, some things you just got to keep that marriage alive and on fire, let me tell you. So yes, there's also the additional concept I have found since having a child. Learning. Adult learning is so different than adult mommy learning, let me tell you. So adult learning is, I work a job, I try and keep my life together. I also, if I'm a male, have to find all the support in my life to keep me going through this crazy process of trying to learn, support myself, and do everything in the meantime. Mommy learning is the Wild West and you forgot to bring your gun. You start hoping to God that you can get the child to sleep on time for you to crack open that textbook at night and start reading. And then you go to work, which you creep down the stairs in the morning if you're lucky enough to do a day shift, and go get to the car and hope that you might actually retain a podcast that you have jammed into your earpod, iPod, ear, whatever, at 5:57 in the morning while clutching Diet Coke or espresso, whatever your poison is for that day. So after you've snorted your line, sipped your espresso, or downed your Coke, be whatever type you prefer, no judgment here at this point, then you manage to get to work. And at work, you have the 20-somethings. Bless their dear little perfect body souls. The 20-somethings, chipper after a night shift, eager to learn, eager to please, sounding more intelligent than I probably ever will again in my whole life. And I remember being the 20-something with no babies. Your life was on fire, your pussy was tight, and your orgasms were intense. It was beautiful timing. But as a mommy, coming into that at 5:50 in the morning because your brain is so slow now that you have to read something 4 times for it to make sense, it just makes you want to jump off a bridge. It's awesome. But you put on your smile, put on your big girl pants, and try and not think about what your toddler's eating with the babysitter or the husband or boyfriend, and hope maybe that she'll have half a vegetable today. Oh, yes, and that, she won't get hit by a car or something. Meanwhile, as you're trying to have an adult conversation and retain any form of, for me, I'm a nurse practitioner, any type of patient report and, how to take care of these critically ill people for the day. So, bless the 20-something, trips off 15 minutes after the shift is supposed to end, and you're on, sweetheart. All 3 hours of sleep rattling around in you with your low blood sugar and the caffeine making you look like a crack whore. So you're off, you're presenting, you're attempting to use your college words you learned 15 years ago, and then attempting to have adult conversation without using sweetie or honey or baby. Yes, I may or may not have called a neurosurgeon a baby and a sweetie and a honey, because that's what you've got left when you're a mom and you're a working mom. So you just get through the day with only looking slightly like a fool with an IQ of 13, and then you do all the catch up with the paperwork, because really you're just trying to get through one fucking thing at a time. And the 20-something chirps in. We think they couldn't have looked even better. She's now wearing makeup and has gone to the gym. You can practically see her six-pack abs through her scrubs. It's beautiful, really. If I was a sculptor, I would sculpt it, but I'm not. So I managed to sign off the last few marbles that are rolling around the battered, rusted tin can that is my brain at this point. And then I go and I clean up as much of the chart as I humanly possibly can. And then I get to drive home. Now the Todd bod of the toddler tribe is asleep by the time I get home, which again, I can go into a whole spiral of motherhood guilt, but that'll be for another mommy flogging or vlogging or whatever we want to call it, probably more towards vlogging when we talk about mom guilt. But that still leaves my darling, I love my 3 stepsons. I love them. They are teenagers. We've gone through some crazy shit in the family of learning how to be a blended family, and I could do a real tearjerker about how grateful I am for them and for the ability to have a good blended family. But for now, we're still on mommy vlogging. So we get home, and I find out at 9:30 at night, oh, it's a costume party tomorrow, Cass. I need to go as Oscar the Grouch. Now, after frantic Amazoning, I can't prime a damn thing around Halloween. So there's no Oscar the Grouch costume available within a 12-hour period. So that means me and mom number one are continually talking at about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, trying to frankly put together an Oscar the Grouch costume before we both have to be up at 5:30 in the morning. Meanwhile, the male unit is, of course, watching football, but, that would mean, we'd have to get off the couch in New England around football season. So we're off with buying trash cans and putting together an Oscar the Grouch costume. The best thing is that I have an Elmo costume in my basement. But oh no, we can't do an Elmo costume. It has to be the green one. So by 11 o'clock, I'm able to crawl into bed. And then I get the equivalent of the 2 a.m. text. Hey, you up? Which I would get when I was a 20-something. But now I'm a mommy and I'm a married woman, which means I get the in my back. And that's when you slit open an eye, do a deep sigh, and play dead.